go to here. Hello everyone and welcome to the early show. About 10 minutes away from before we actually kick in. There's a couple of spots there. It's a bit weird. There. I have to change my hand. You have to...
Where's Darren?
It's like looking at yourself in the mirror.
Darren?
They should be coming. Andy and Darren should be coming. Okay, so we are 10 minutes. Anyone who's new, who's watching the show, big hello to you. We are going to start the main show on the hour, unless you live in one of those weird time zones where it's on the half hour, like South Australia. Hello to all people in Adelaide. I think there's a couple of places like that in the world, and it's got half-hour time zones that everything is all.
Are they always
skewed.
half an hour late or half an hour early?
They're always, depending on what part of the world, and for plus or minus GM, right? So
I meant in Adelaide.
on Adelaide, they're always late. They're always late. I came in Adelaide. That's where I arrived on this earth.
Wow.
Right. We're going to be doing filters today, by the way. That's that graphic there. I haven't even updated the topic title thing. Yes, we're going to be doing filters, and let us know how we go. I mean, it's not going to be like complete scientific hocus pocus, right? But I thought we'd start doing some topics that are synth related, as in like the anatomy of a synth, as in parts of a synth. And we can hit it two ways. We can hit it for the beginners, and they might learn something, and we can also hit it for people who want to have a really good, nerdy, geeky chat about it. How does that sound?
Nerds and geeks? Surely not.
Nerds and geeks.
Nerds and geeks.
From 1-800
Sounds great, actually.
Nerds and geeks.
Girds and neeks.
Sounds good. What are the chatties saying? They should be working.
Hi,
I like it when the button works. Hello, chatties. Why don't we say hello to the chatties first, because they've actually come in quite early today, which is not usual. Not usual. Anyway, Universal Vibe got the Guernsey, and he said, hopefully I can start. Okay, I'm going to take a 2-hour nap right now. Someone set the alarm for Universal Vibe. Wake him up. It's time to get up, mate. Robbie Piricelli's there. Failed Muso. Big hello to you, mates. Who else we got? Prometheus, UK. Big hello, mate. Universal Vibe is there. He did wake up. Hey, Steve Ward's there, one of our channel members. JX3D is also one of our channel members, and he's rubbing his eyes right now and putting his spectacles back on. Chris Makeshifter is probably waiting to get into StreamYard, I guess. Let me just check. No. If Chris wants to jump into StreamYard, you're most welcome to, mate. Big hello to him. He's another channel member. What else have we got? Culture of Ghosts. Hello, mate. Big hello to you. Mr. Kent. The illustrious Kent is there in the room, everyone. He's another one of our channel members. Neil Wharton arrived just after. Big hello to you.
Yeah, that too. Oh, cool.
Less talk, more disco. Hi, I'm new here. Excellent. Welcome. So you are one of these people when I say, hey, hello for the new people.
Let's talk and new. Who's that?
Let's talk more disco. Yeah. Big hello.
Let's talk more disco. Hello,
tell us
let's
where you're
talk
from.
more disco.
Just, you don't have to say what suburb you live in. Just, maybe a city or a country. If you're worried about that. Keith in Watford, big hello to you, mate. Another one of our channel members. Awesome to have you. Future World Machines, hello, mate. Nice of you to come back. Lady Aptitude, why did it just scroll? That really does my head in. I was on a spot and it just scrolled on me. I got up to Lady Aptitude. Big hello to you. QRDNK, big hello to you. Whew. Starting to scroll really quickly now. Because everyone probably wants to see their name.
Yay.
Azio Head, big hello to you, mate. Who else? Path Lake, big hello. Wagoo's finally made it. Hello, Daniel Man. Good, he felt welcome. He said the Let's Talk More Disco. He's from Rotterdam. Good. Beautiful. Rotterdam. I've been to Rotterdam. Apis Lapis, haven't seen him for a bit. Big hello to you. Yeah.
Hey,
Nice to
artist.
have you back. Nice to have you back. We do remember nicknames. So unless you've been hacked,
I will
We
have
will
to
remember.
tell you a disco joke afterwards.
disco jokes. No. We haven't got Darren yet, but then again, it isn't quite on the hour. He does kind of like to arrive.
Said he
likes
was
to have
looking
one
for
of those,
something.
I'm here, everyone. Wonder if he's going to bring.
It'll be the purple one,
man.
won't it?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wonder. I
yeah.
just wonder.
He'll have pulled all the knobs off again.
Yeah. Now, where was I up to? Look
Yay.
at that. Right on cue. No, I saw him in the chat
Fun
earlier,
face
so I
and
knew he was
everything.
coming.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Now, I've forgotten to get myself a drink, so I'm going to be...
You need to move me across. And Randy should have this sorted. I'm
You- you
always
got-
in the middle now.
Yeah, you're going to have to move him across again. You know, he's almost in the other box.
Well, this proves that it definitely hasn't
And now,
been something
live
that I
from
did wrong.
Norwich.
Because if I have to move it every week, it means that you've moved it at some stage. That's what it means.
My room's not big enough to move. Literally.
Oh, don't dance.
That's freaky.
Stop it, Ranz. You horrible human being. Stop making Darren dizzy. Right, Darren's
Right, now
kind
save
of
it
in
in
the
that spot.
Yeah,
middle.
save.
Yeah, Chris, let me know if you're jumping into whatchamacallit, StreamYard. Oh, link to StreamYard, people. The StreamYard link is coming. No, that's
Would
a-
you
Hi,
like
Rob,
to
by the
hear
way.
the?
Andy,
Would you like to
Ranz.
hear the disco joke?
Hi, Darren.
Ian.
Hi, Darren.
can't see
Sorry, I was
Darren's knob
smells
anymore.
there.
Relax. He just said we can't see Darren's knob anymore.
Wow.
Shut Wagyu.
Why does that always happen when I'm not paying attention?
It just goes down every so often. But I've
Just stop
It's-
right now.
the camera's
Well,
in a
that's
different
taking it
angle
down
now,
and
you see.
everything.
That's why it always looked bigger before.
I just posted the StreamYard link. There it is. Don't be scared. It's not going to hack your computer. It is just StreamYard. Blame them if it does hack your computer. It is free. All you need is a webcam and a mic. Usually webcams have mics in them, so probably just a webcam. I have had people on the show with just a phone or an iPad before, so give it a rock and roll. Who knows? There's a room in here for another 3 or 4 people. So first in, best dressed is the old saying. Yeah. Everyone's talking about Darren's appendage, and we'll probably just leave it at that.
Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're talking about his audio interface. Come
Yeah,
on.
but look
Don't-
at what the chatties have done. Look what's
No,
happening.
it was
Oh,
actually. It is actually a big knob.
Incorrigible.
Passive as well.
It's a big knob on a
Enough.
bastel.
Enough already. I'm trying to type "Hey Andy" into here. I've failed miserably 3 times.
It's not even 1 o'clock and we've got knob jokes.
Now, Henrik, you can't even understand me. I'm speaking gobbledygook. You can hear us. Everything's fine your end, right? Because
Yeah,
we did have some technical issues with StreamYard last week. If it does play up, I'm on top of it. I think I know what sort of. It's like as if something times out on the laptop, so I have to probably get someone to sort of bring it to my attention. So if you
God,
do
I'm like that.
lose
I time
audio,
out
just
when
let
I'm
us know.
writing music.
It's
I
a
can
kind
hear
of
you. I don't know
it's a
if you can
hairy
hear me.
fairy technology. It's not as good as this technology.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, we can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I tried to tell a joke 2 times and you couldn't hear it.
Oh, he's
Oh.
he's
We'll
spat
do
the
that
dummy.
later.
Here you go.
Should I
Tell your joke.
Should I tell it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to say first, it's an old 70s joke from Denmark, probably Sweden and Norway too, because in Denmark shoes are like sko. The Danish word for shoes are sko, and the Danish word for those are de. So How does John Travolta act when he goes into a shoe shop? He goes like, I like disco, 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 disco.
I get it. I heard a b sound, which means someone's in StreamYard. Hey, it's Chris.
No, that Matt. I had a brilliant sine wave sort of background noise on. I've been wiring up some CD stuff into the mixer, and I've got an old Intimidation Blue DJ mixer, and the right hand side seems to be really noisy. I've just noticed it's been in the loft, so it's probably a bit buggy, but I just needed at least one side to use the deck. And God, what a sine wave noise of feedback or something coming through. It's really nice to sample, but I can't use that channel, unfortunately. So I'm
Is it
only
one
on
frequency?
Side. Well, I've not recorded it yet, but it's pretty sound like a single frequency. Just that I can't do it, but just a one sine wave.
Speaking of filters, yeah, it's tinnitus. Yeah. We should probably hit the button that says let's start the show, because it is on the hour and we can't have that. People get upset, you know. Hello, episode, what are we? 193, I believe. 193. Is there anything significant about 193? Hello, how are you? Are you good? Give yourself a pat in the back if you are. Welcome to Synth Geekery, episode 193, as I said before. We've got some awesome people here, other than me. Starting with, let's do the StreamYard people first, because I like to change things up. Big hello to Henrik and Chris. We'll do Henrik first, and then I'm going to full screen you, Henrik, so just bear with it.
Big hello. I'm doing accounting this week. I hate it, but it has to be done. And about episode 193, it can be spelled as 192, I think. You did that in the description of the stream.
Did I? Did I typo it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm good at
but
that.
It's okay.
I was really
We'll
rushing
just define it like that.
I've got 193 there. Where did I put it?
In the description.
In the description? Oh, okay, in the YouTube description. I get you. All right. I will fix that up after the what do you call it? The stream finishes. All right, and now I'm going to do this magic thing and move Chris over.
Yep.
And then do that. And then do that. And now Chris is on. Hello, Chris.
Hey. Hello, how's it going?
We're good. How are
Good.
you?
Am I coming through loud, crisp and clear?
You are.
Hello. I'm coming through loud, good. I've added an extra light. Hey, I've added an extra light. Hopefully I don't look quite so dark. I still look pasty though, so can't do anything about that. Yep.
Oh,
Spray tan.
I'd speak to your makeup department. They're not doing their job right.
Yeah. Yeah, don't pay them enough. That's the problem. Yeah.
Awesome.
I had to turn down the colors on the camera. I think it's at your side, Ranzee. Somehow you are coloring the StreamYard feed too much.
Yeah, it's something weird because I'm using a HDMI capture card for this, and it looks beautiful on the laptop screen, and it just looks a little bit orange. I don't know. It just looks a bit weird. But trust me, you guys are fine. It's not your end. It's just this capture card issue, and I haven't been able to work out how to fix it. It might even be a HDMI cable issue. Who knows? But let's keep going because that doesn't really matter because we're more about audio here. Big hello, Darren.
Yes, ma'am.
How's your week?
Leo. How's my week? It's been fine, thanks. I think I've been on a few live streams chatting. I'm sure I have. God, the week's gone quick, so I can't remember. I think it was on Friday, Saturday. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Other than that, yeah, week's been all right. Last track I put out, the last 3 tracks have been sort of like I don't know, would you class them as techno? Yeah, techno. That's what I've put them as anyway. Techno-y, sort of deep techno-y type stuff. So I've not got one this week because last week's come out. It's doing really well, actually. I was quite surprised. So everyone keep watching them. The next one's coming out next week, and it's just on the same vein. Whilst I'm still writing the album. Other than that, I don't think I've really done a great deal other than that, apart from working.
Brilliant.
I'll tell you what, I have been fiddling about in the studio, and also trying to come up with some sort of. I'm designing my live setup, which is. So I'm working on that. It's going to be later this year. The way it's going, but I'm working on that. So other than that, it's been quite a sort of quiet but productive week. But I keep going back to the album because I need to finish that off in the next month or two because it's definitely a very thoughtful and emotional album, especially with what's all gone on. And if you've listened to the first album, The Life We Live, part 1, or the first album, the part 2 is more.
It's lovely,
more the same. This next one's probably even more. I don't know, thoughtful. It depends on what mood you're in. I think if you're in a bit of a low mood, then it'll send you that way, and you'll feel very sort of saddened. If you're in a happy mood, then it'll sort of make you think and be happy. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. Next person, I think, will be Ian, because I don't think Andy's here yet. Hello, Ian.
Good afternoon, everybody, and good evening or good morning, wherever you are. What's my week been like? First part of the week I've been spent working on my solo album, which has now got a working title. It's called The Fraser Syndrome. And it's planned to be released the 1st of November on Bandcamp, and then on all streaming services 24th of December I thought I'd go with. It's currently about 8 tracks. It's about an hour. There might be an odd track extra added to it, but then what else have I done? I spent all day Thursday submitting the business accounts to the taxman, which just does me head in every time I do it. And I decided to. I've neglected the record label. So what I have been doing is I've been putting some of the albums up on the Sinners Music Bandcamp. So there's a new album by the Strayfield, which I worked on with them, and there's a few others from about 2011, 2016, that type of thing. So I've had a really productive week, actually. It's been really good. Apart from the Thursday when I was talking to the taxman.
There's a bit of an accounting theme going on, isn't there, today?
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's
it's necessary evil.
Productivity. Brooksie.
Hello. I cut my thumb.
Ooh, nasty.
I was chopping onions. I missed the onion and caught my thumb full on. There was a lot of swearing and quite a lot of blood. So
wow.
But
anyway,
apart from that, no onion was hurt.
Onions.
I missed that completely.
You were chopping some blood onions.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, so it's been half term. It's been a lovely week. Family stuff at the start. My dad's birthday. My brother and his kids and wife came up. That was really lovely to see them. And getting ready to do Jim's EMOM on Thursday, which we did. And also on Thursday, I went round to Grace's, and Grace filmed me basically doing my EMOM set, which is going to be on Dean Daughters, so Electronic Sounds showcase, second showcase, which is going to be broadcast on his YouTube channel on Saturday the 25th. That's next Saturday at 8 p.m. UK time, and I forget what time it is US time. I've pinged you some stuff about that, Ranzee. If you can get a chance to show that, that'd be great. So I'm really pleased with the way that's come out. The video that Grace has done is just it's sort of triptych style, but it's really nice, and the audio. I'm really impressed with the audio capture. So once that's been streamed next week, I'm going to put that track out as a single on Bandcamp. It's called The Golden Mask. So that'll be coming out in just over a week. Assume I can get some artwork made and ready for it. So yeah, that's been my week. It's been lovely. It's been nice. It's been productive. I mean, this morning I spent ages just taking samples and stuff for Hardware Jams challenge, which is spring. And after this, I'm going to go around to Grace's again, and we're going to do a thing for Hardware Jams later. So it's actually been busy and productive. Ooh.
Okay.
And I've
Do you want me
been.
to show this vid?
Yeah, I've also bought a couple of bits of gear. One's not here yet. But I bought the Dupfer multi-core patch bay modules, and they work a treat. They're absolutely brilliant. So you can just simply patch two cases together just by plugging in these bespoke Ethernet cables, and that's been a proper game. Bloody hell, proper game changer. Really, really great. I'm impressed with that. And I also have bought a PAMS Pro workout, but that's not arrived yet. That's to be able to interface easily, not just around my rack, but also with other people with this Synth East thing coming up in a couple of weeks. So,
okay, well, let's show the Synth East thing. The graphic first, which is this over you. You can tell us about it a bit. Norwich Art Centre, 4th of March.
Yeah, Norwich Art Centre, 4th of March. It's there's a day event, and there's also an evening event with performers. You can see they're listed there: Steve Davis, Robin Vincent, Finlay Shakespeare, Nick Colt-Void. They're all names that people will be familiar with. During the day, there's a load of exhibitors going to be there, and there's also going to be a patch-off challenge. That's the bit at the top, the daytime performers, where modular users will be paired off, and they've got to come up with something and perform it there and then on the spot, so to speak. So, hence me purchasing that Pamela's just to facilitate clock and that sort of thing. So,
right,
and it will be very useful in the rack anyway.
And also a plug to this.
Yeah, that's Dean's next Saturday, the 25th. So 12 noon in America PST and 8 p.m. UK.
Okay. Beautiful. Shall I just have a little play?
Electronic Sounds Audio, the YouTube channel for you.
Hey, what's happening, friends? It's Dean from Electronic Sounds, and today I'm really excited to announce that I'm going to be giving away this vintage Roland TR-505 drum machine on a live stream on Saturday, February 25th at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time and 8 p.m. UK time. You heard right, friends. All you need to do to be eligible to win the Roland drum machine is just tune in to my Electric Showcase 2 live stream special.
All right, cool. So I'll paste the link to that channel in the chat, and you guys can go check that out. Good plug there, Brooksie. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Did I just... is that it there? Let me just double check. I think I've got the link ready to rock and roll. Is that it? Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm just pasting that into chat now, and everyone should have that. Speaking of chats, we don't have Andy yet. Another sort of catch up with the chatties. I think a few people sort of popped in after the show started. Jim Glue, big welcome to you, mate. Anyone else? Dr. Synth, Manny, big welcome to you too, mate. Your name here, nice to see you again. And I think we've caught up, haven't we? I'm pretty sure. So if you are lurking, if you are watching this and you're lurking, jump into chat. Sometimes I understand like you can't chat. It's you're at work and you can't chat or whatever. I get it. That's fine. But if you can just sneak into chat just for a little bit, just jump in and say hi because they're a friendly bunch in chat. Okay. Right.
Can I say something about the 505?
Yeah.
I did have one ages ago. If you hold one of the buttons, I don't remember which one, and you switch it on, it will play all the sounds an octave above. That's quite interesting if you don't know it.
All right.
You can't do much about the sounds.
Never owned a 505, but I do own this button here.
I didn't know that.
We got to get on.
I found out because I wanted to find out about the test modes. Roland always have some test modes.
Henrik, I found your OnlyFans channel.
Yeah, thanks. But I already have a box like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It never disappoints because there's OnlyFans. What else we got? This is related to me, so I thought I'd be selfish and show it and share it with you guys. How to make money for new synths. Just sell your old synths. I don't know if I'm the person on the bottom frame. I might have had a few tears. We'll talk about that a bit later.
It's healthy.
It is healthy. It's unhoarded like. Okay, and there's a bit of a theme with these at the moment.
Yeah.
And you might find yourself, by the way, David Burns sent this to me. Big hello to you, David. You may find yourself, he didn't really, behind a wheel of a large automobile. You may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. You may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Something about days going by, people.
That is great.
Yeah, and the theme continues thanks to Mr. Robbie Puricelli. There we go. Let's do. Where did it go? Oh no, I've lost it. Hang on a sec. I've lost it. Why did I lose it? I will do this one first, and then I'll find Mr. Robbie's one. I don't know what happened to Mr. Robbie's one. So yeah, if you're wondering about what to put on your mixer, Ian, at the studio.
Yeah.
Some helpful information there for you. I don't know how helpful it is. It may actually be completely unhelpful. Oh, why did that not show? That is weird. Okay, I'm going to see if it shows this way. Let's turn that off. Go to here. Let's see if it shows this way. This is the one that Robbie sent in. Now, you guys may not see that very well, but let me read it for you. Windy night has come, and the land easy dark, and the moon is.
That's clever.
So yes, that one is related to the previous one. Where these are friend requests, by the way. If you never ever had a friend request like me, I've never had one. Just so that's what they look like if you do get friend requests.
What's a friend? What's a friend?
Really?
I don't know, mate. Someone's told me. Apparently, they have only fan sites. That's what I've been told. Favorite meme of the week, people? Not very synthy this week. One was.
Oh, it's got to be OnlyFans for me.
OnlyFans?
Yeah. But the DJ one, but it was only brief.
Living in a shotgun shack, I'm sorry. Once in a lifetime. That was just
David Byrne.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah.
I like the bad level and DJ.
I think I'm going to go with Andy on that one.
Yeah.
Bad DJ, you like that one, Henrik? You
Yeah.
like that? Okay. Cool. And what are the chatties liking? OnlyFans. Some like the Talking Heads as well. Oh, it's a tie. I don't know. We'll probably have to make that one a tie, I think. Okay, fantastic. There's not a massive amount of news this week, but there is some. So let's have a look. I've stolen this graphic from Gear News. So Robbie and Rob and Vincent, I do apologise if I'm not allowed to have permission to take this graphic. But OXI Instruments don't have a picture of this anywhere unless I get Photoshop out, and I just haven't got time. So I want to give Gear News a plug because it's an awesome site, and I do really rate them highly. So hopefully that's a nice thing to do in thanks. But anyway, let's talk about this thing. This is a eurorack module if you haven't worked it out. And it's a polyphonic, it's called the Coral by OXI Instruments, and it's an 8-voice polyphonic synthesizer module powered by multiple sound engines. So I'm guessing this thing is completely digital. And according to the developer, you can work with 8 voices on a single sound engine or assign each voice to a different one, or in groups or into parts, which is pretty clever, I think. Now, the engines cover a wide range of different sort of types of waveforms and synthesis. Like you've got virtual analog, you've got wave shaping, You've got drum sounds, kick, hi-hat, all that sort of stuff, strings and swarms and wavetables and FM. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. And there's a simple playback engine on the front panel, and there's also an SD card reader as well. There was a graphic that showed kind of a little bit more of interesting stuff on here. I'll grab it and I'll show you guys. Just waiting for my computer to catch up. It's probably doing too much streaming and stuff, It's probably thinking, how much do you want me to do in one at once? How much? Anyway, let's go to here. Let's show you guys there. There's a bit more of a graphic for you. So I'm just showing you where the bits are. SD card, push encoder, main knob. Darren, it has a main knob, but it also has a secondary function.
Purple.
It is. That's why I showed it, because I thought you'd be interested. 14 HP for those who are playing along at home and want to know how big this sucker is. Stereo outputs, MIDI input, which is important because otherwise, how the heck are you going to play this polyphonic when there's hardly any CV inputs? I think this is a bit of a theme with Eurorack now, getting MIDI into it and playing stuff that way, because otherwise you just got massive matrix of inputs of CV, right? That's kind of the theory. And then you could probably play it with just one CV connectivity, and it would just be like, a chord or unison voice or something like that. Don't have any pity I don't have a video or anything. No noise, nothing. So this is pretty much just a real hot off the press type thing. But just based on that little bit of
I've heard it. It sounds nice. Very nice.
Who wants to have a comment about that? Just in general, maybe if you want to talk about polyphonic sounds in your Eurorack, maybe you could. Just
I want this.
You do?
Oh God.
Good. Let's hear.
I do. I've heard it. It sounds really nice.
Where did you hear it?
And like you say, if you look at OXI Instruments, they do a demo and they've got that, but they don't say that that's playing until you read the actual information. And what the track that they're playing is actually that.
Is it on the YouTube
Because obviously
channel,
I presume it wasn't. Yeah, I presume it wasn't ready, but because I was thinking, this is quite really nice sound. And then when you actually read it, it says what the instrument was that was playing, and it was this. And it does sound nice, and it's like you say, 8 voice, and they're obviously going to use MIDI more. That's what they're going for, but I like it. I want it. I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be available or where it's going to be available. But yeah, I would like it to go in my small, possible live setup. So that'd be cool. So OXI Music, get it out now.
Darren, I have a feeling that they've brought this module out to complement their chord. What is it? Their sequencer thing that they've got.
Yes, the OXI one.
Yeah, OXI one. Yes. That's it. Yeah.
Sequencer,
yeah. So that could be one of the reasons why they've brought this out. Anyway, who wants to have another comment? Brooksie?
Well, Nobular have done similar, haven't they? I mean, Nobular. Oh, that's Ian. Hello, Ian.
Hello.
The polycinematic.
Yeah,
the polycinematic module. Yep. And they've also brought out a chord generator thing to pair with it. Robin was talking about that on one of his shows earlier in the week. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely becoming a thing, isn't it, in Eurorack now? Polyphonic modules, but it does require MIDI. That's it. You've got to have a MIDI input to it, which in some ways is getting away from the essence of modular. But if you've just got the one module in there attached to a keyboard, then that can provide you with the polyphonic element. Now, I've been using the bitbox to do that sort of thing, just connected to the key step down here, and that's been working really nicely. But I do understand why it would fit into a small case really quite nicely, to provide that polyphonic pad sort of element, which is generally missing from Eurorack.
300, according to the Gear News or some other article I was reading, €399. So it's on the pricey end.
That's not too bad, is it?
But what do you think?
You remember 8-note polyphonic? It's decent. The polycinematic.
How much did you say that?
Same sort of
boutique
price.
company. Yeah.
€399.
Get the OXI one.
That's That's
Could be a
not
cool
bad.
thing.
That's not bad.
Yep. Shall we move on to the next, or anyone else want to make a comment? Chatties, what are you guys saying? There's only 2 news items this week that I sort of bothered to put together. We've got a bit of news coming from Henrik as well, so technically there's 3. But yeah, not a lot going on this week. But I thought maybe we should go and show you this. IK Multimedia's. I think they've done a pedal before, haven't they? I can't remember now. I'm pretty sure they've done a pedal before. Anyway, so this is called the Tone X. And look, I have a video. I'm going to play it. And afterwards, I kind of want you guys to answer a question. And that is, what do the synth people want this for? What do we want this for? Sorry, goes on for a bit more. I think we get the idea. It's yeah, but it's pretty much 4 guitars. But like I said, I want to know because they have pitched it to synth people. Maybe you guys may want this pedal to use it for your synths. And what it does, if you're wondering, is it emulates speaker modules and amplifiers and things like that. And there's a whole bunch of algorithms in there,
it's like having multiple pedal boards in it in one box.
Yes, different types of overdrives and fuzzes and stuff like that.
I think it's their Amplitude 5 software, isn't it? In one in a pedal, I think.
Right.
I have to say, I was sent this before with an NDA, but I completely ignored it because. It was a guitar pedal, so I wasn't that. and it's quite pricey, so
it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of price,
is this going like with
€469? €469.
I've got €399 on the website.
All right, we'll correct it to €399.
So they've dropped it. They've dropped the price €100. Great.
69.
It's still quite
dropped to 69. Beautiful. Darren, what did you say? Sorry, you were just we lost you.
I was going to say it's about the prices, that type of thing now, and most of those big pedals that have got quite a lot. I mean, let's face it, the where was it?
Yeah.
These two. Oh God, these two here are quite expensive anyway.
Yep.
It's like the Line 6, isn't it? They're starting to just put pedal boards into a single pedal, so you don't have to cart everything about, I suppose. And for a studio, it might come in handy. It means you don't have to have a big line of pedal boards underneath. But
it's got a built-in audio interface.
There, exactly. So, yeah, I can see why some people, especially a small studio like this where I can't even move around to put wires through. Even though Ranzee can't get me in the middle and I can touch the walls either side. So I can't move that much, Ranz.
He's always having a slap.
Somebody's hurting there.
Yeah. I tell him, just
Darren in the middle.
Move into the neighbours and just tell them to rack off, and you've got another house. That's what happens. Just knock a hole in the wall. Go that way, Darren. Go to your right.
I'm going to have to go that way.
Yeah, you're going to go up into the attic.
Yeah.
Into the
A
roof.
few people in the chat have been mentioning the Line 6 stuff. You know, I had a Line 6 pod years and years ago before it was stolen by somebody who apparently was a friend.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, that was great. You know, it had loads of different sort of amp models, and this is 20 plus years ago, 20 plus years ago, and the digital processing was nothing like what it is now. And those models sounded really great with synths going through it. Always worked better on the SH101 than the Pro one for some reason, but it was great. And I think, you know, rather than thinking about pedal boards, it's about all the backline. How many amps and speakers are you going to be taking out? And if this means you don't have to take out any and just plug straight into a mixing desk, again, it's going to make guitarists' lives a lot easier. Who's cooking?
I don't know. Not me.
I was going to say the same thing. It's turned into a shit
I have
show.
no idea. It's not coming from my side. That's one of the things.
It may be
It
me
could have
actually
been
because
Ian.
I went.
Oh, it's probably Ian.
Is that it?
Oh, the bearing
So-
one. That's
Yeah,
the
I
bearing
bought-
one.
I thought he was going to come
that,
out with a smorgasbord or a baked Alaska.
I bought that about 3-4 weeks ago. 30 quid off eBay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know.
Yeah, why not?
So
It sounds great. It sounds
where
really
I was
good.
kind of heading with this is I was hoping someone would pick up on this, but like the back of hardware synths, everyone talks about but you can have decks on your your laptop, but it won't sound the same as a DX7 because of the DA in the back of the DX7. So when is someone going to model all that stuff so that you can model the DA of a DX7, you can model the amplifier, the VCA / output of a Mini Moog or an Oberheim. Someone's got to model that Ranzee, I reckon. Probably happening right now. Did you want to pick up on that? That's kind of where I was heading with it, because they're making models of guitar amps, right? So that your guitar can sound like you're playing it through a Marshall with Celestian speakers or whatever it is, right? But yeah, who had a thought about that? What about your StreamYard guys? Bring them into it. This button.
Hey, hey, just
You go.
Go, Chris.
I'll go. Well, you know, the cabinet simulation is usually an impulse response based thing, and they've talked about before using impulse responses to model other analog gears such as transformers in the inputs of desks and things like that. So what you're talking about with DAs and modeling them sounds plausible, but there must be something more to it. I think the whole thing is like you kind of need to know what something sounded like before it got into the DA and what it sounds like after. And that kind of means kind of getting into the synth and destroying it a bit. I'm not sure people are too keen to do that, but is that the kind of thing you're thinking of? Yeah, is that what you're thinking? Is it sort of trying to find an impulse, something that gets impulse responses for different digital analog converters?
Yeah,
I think probably a few people have tried it and gone, nah, it didn't convince them. What's the point then? You're never going to convince them. I know it's the DAs. I just modeled the DAs. No, you haven't modeled the DAs. It doesn't sound the same as my DX7 out there. Okay.
I think we should all get wrapped up in this, trying to get everything to recreate something so precise to a gone past instruments. For me, I write music whether you like the music or not, and you're never going to tell what instruments are going on in there, and you're not going to say halfway through a tune going, actually, that is not a real TOB-03. It's a clone, because you're supposed to be listening to music, not whether... There'll be some people who pick out those. But I don't think you can even do that in a mix anyway.
I think it's bordering on fetishism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think about the gear when I'm using it, really.
No. I've...
Beautiful.
Like I say, it doesn't matter whether I use my Juno 6A or something equivalent in the box. I don't sort of go, well, I'm going to have to use my Juno because I want the Juno sound and it's got to be in the set. It's there, and if I like the Juno sound that's coming out of it, I'll use it. If I like the one that I've got in the box, I'll use that. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to claim to someone in the track that it's a definite Juno and listen to that. You're just supposed to be listening to the music as a whole, mixed, and it might be just me. I mean, it's just sometimes
It is
I think
just
it can
not
get
you.
a
It's
little
not
bit
just you.
too
No,
worried
it
about
is. It's
how
Darren.
exactly it sounds.
It's me and Darren then.
It's just because
all
you
day.
put me in the middle.
No,
That's
I'm
why.
just kidding.
We're both in small studios. That's what it is. We've got, we can do that,
Yeah.
and we're touching the walls.
Now, just quickly, Robbie's popped into also in the
Hi,
stream
Robbie.
guide. There was someone else that
Hey,
popped up
Robbie.
as well. Now, I do
Hey, Robbie.
apologise. You guys were waiting in that waiting area for a little bit. I didn't know, probably because I was busy pressing buttons over here. But whoever the other person was that disappeared, jump back in. I'll add you back in. Anyway, while we've got Robbie, big hello to you, mate.
That was Henry.
Hello. I just wanted to add something on this Tone X thing, because I was kind of privy to this, a bit like Ian. I was privy to this about last year, and it's not a regular guitar pedal. It models your rig. So if you've got a rig of amps and pedals and all that stuff, set it all up, and then you play a tone or a set of tones through this, and Tone X takes that tone and models your rig. So you can just call up, your Eddie Van Halen rig or your Jimi Hendrix rig or whatever guitarists do. I don't know, but it is the only comparable thing really on the market is the Kemper, which is £1,500 starting price that does this. This is only €400, which is a huge difference. And it's being billed as a Kemper killer. And those that have Kempers will probably say, oh, no, of course it won't. But it kind of is for, so many people have been wanting something like this. And for synthesists, if you play your stuff through a series of effects and pedals, if you model that, you could probably do away with a lot of the stuff that you use, unless you're using those effects in a very creative way. This could be useful for keyboard players and synthesists.
Yep.
But it's an incredible piece of. I mean, I've got the software version, and it is pretty damn cool. Hopefully, IK's build quality on their pedals has gone up a little bit. If it's anything like the range they released a little while ago, there was those three pedals that were kind of their answer to what Strymon are doing. They're pretty good. So yeah, it's. I see Wagю's arguing with me already in the chat. But seriously, it's a very cool piece of kit, and it does some really very cool stuff.
Why has one of these disappeared?
What's disappeared, Robbie? Oh, Robbie, who are you? Ranzee. Oh, hi, Robbie.
Wasn't me.
So he was in.
What are you
this.
drinking there,
We've got another person in the StreamYard
Oh, dear.
called Klavis.
No, it's me,
Oh,
Ranzee. It's
okay.
me who I'm sharing a screen. It's because I have some news from Klavis.
Okay, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. It's only short, but it's the new Granity, the new filter, granular filter.
Oh wow, that's
They
topical.
are doing the final tests, and it's about to be released. So, so if you want the granular filter, it's available quite soon.
Big fan of Klavis's stuff. I've got a couple of
Me
their
too.
modules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And these this stuff on the oscilloscope here, we're seeing some control voltage, gates opening and stuff, and we can see the filter response below. So
Yeah, I guess so.
nice stuff. Beautiful. Now let's bring you back how you're supposed to be. I don't even know how to do this now. Hit this button. Yay! There we go. Fixed. Beautiful.
I was going to say that Kemper and Axe-Fx have their stuff, but the Korg and Roland and all those guys have been modeling stuff for years, synth and cabinets and stuff like that. I have the old Korg Toneworks stuff many years ago. There's no reason why they can't do this stuff as well. So,
I mean,
Yeah, it's
Yamaha
probably-
were the first people to model rooms, weren't they?
Probably whether they could be
Yeah.
asked. That's probably what it's about.
Yeah,
Whether
back
they
in
can
the
be
early
bothered.
80s, I think.
I mean, like some of those companies, like Roland, they poured so much engineering and development into ACB. They nearly dropped it like a big sack of spuds, and then probably right on the death knock, they decided, no, we're not quite done with it yet, because this whole Zen framework kind of almost trampled all over it. But then everyone screamed blue murder, and Roland actually did listen. So they've probably been really, really busy with that stuff, to be fair.
Well, the main reason was the advantages of polyphony. They get more polyphony with with the Zen chord than you do the
PCM stuff,
ACB.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, Korg and Vox have been moving into the modelling business for quite a long time now.
Yep.
And they do a really good job. I mean, they model their own amps and they model other people's amps as well.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing about modelling DACs?
Yeah.
Before we
you're going to model your DACs?
And specifically
Don't drop your
DX7 DAC. The guys at Plogue have modelled the 9. I forget the number of it now, but the DAC, the 12-bit DAC that's using the DX7, they've modelled that perfectly. So if you get OPS 7 from Plogue, it's as close to the hardware as you will ever want. I mean, DexEd is free, it's fantastic, but it's not quite there. And same with the Arturi one, it's not quite there. But it's being done.
There we go. Well, like I said, I wanted to ask, and I think a lot of people may have seen that pedal and scratched their head and thought, what the? But the good thing is that we got all the brains trust talking here, and some you may actually have a different opinion about that pedal now since the nice chat that we've had with everyone. Beautiful. Okay, now, Henrik, was that the only? There was another thing you wanted to show, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Are you ready for that now? Or do you want me to do another segment first? What do you want to do? You can do it.
Oh, you can play it now. It's shall I start or?
I've got to get the video.
I think
set
I
up.
say everything in the video. So.
Just give me a check, Sans. I've got to get the video set up. Where is it? You can give it a little intro if you like.
It's a video about a person who have done a funny thing with a mini freak, and yeah, I say everything else in the video, so saying it now will just ruin what I say in the video.
Okay.
So,
it was probably just about the right amount of time for me to copy the link.
Good.
Because I had to.
Else I have it on my YouTube channel. I just released it now.
Oh, okay. So. I'll just do it in here. It should work. Okay, here we go. Now, can we full screen this?
Anton Anru is an incredible sound designer. He has made more than 100 libraries and has his own shop on Selfie Store. He's also a member of ESC, the European Sound Collective, which I am too, and he's incredibly creative. Check out this video. He has made a stop animation from the Arturia Mini Freak, and I think this is really funny to watch. It's entertainment. Enjoy.
so good, doesn't it, eh? Beautiful. And that video's finished. So let me just get my mouse back. Hello, mouse, where are you? Henrik, did you want to add anything else to that now that it's all played? No?
No.
Made a few words today.
I said what I should there. He's a nice guy, and he does a lot of libraries. So if you're looking for anything synth related and patches for it, then check his site. It's incredible. He has everything almost. Awesome. I don't think there's any Fairlight, or I'm not sure about DX7, but sorry, Robbie.
Fair enough.
But
just whilst we have that topic up, there's been a few videos shown in the show. All videos and links to websites will be in the blog article that gets posted. It's Sunday my time. It might be still Saturday evening your time. I don't know. It'll be sort of around 12-ish hours from about now. Maybe a bit later. Don't hold me to it because this is completely volunteer. We are now going to rock and roll straight into the third segment, which is everyone's favourite, smashing old 1980s TV screens with a stage camera. Oh no, I mean Price Watch. Let's not do jokes anymore because they kind of suck. Ah, look at this. We talked about samplers the other day. Hey, Mr. Andy, Mr. Synthetic.
Emacs.
Yeah, Emacs.
Yeah, nice.
Portable type thing, isn't it, really?
I love it.
Imagine lugging that around, eh?
That's a little more than what they cost brand new.
That's Australian dollars, so, I mean, yeah, it's probably about $50 US now in the currency conversion. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually probably not a bad price. What would you say, Andy? Would you say that's it's probably about what, £1,000?
Well, unless he recently shot up, I was looking at some last year around the 1,200 mark.
Yeah.
And I got lucky at that local store. I got a rack for basically $200.
Oh, you always do that, though. You always do it.
But yeah,
there's a live auction. We should check it out because there might be some more photos.
Because this isn't the SE or the HD version. This is the regular version.
No, it's
so
just the original Emacs. Yeah.
So you'd have to upgrade it yourself if you could.
And that's if you can upgrade it, because I made that
I know
mistake when I bought my first Emacs.
That code stuff is hard to get. Yeah,
upgrading it, is that an EEPROM to upgrade, or is it something else?
No, well, it all depends. So the base models tend to not be upgradable. So if you go for I'm speaking from Emacs 2 experience. If you buy a 1 meg version, you can't upgrade that to 4 meg or 8 meg. You have to have the 2 meg version or above to upgrade it to either 4 or 8. And when I bought my first Emacs 2, I was so excited that I found one at a really good price that I didn't bother checking the actual model number and realised it was the 1 meg version, which was fine because most of the stuff I wanted to play in it was E2 samples. So most of those are either half a meg or 1 meg. But I was very lucky and I found a second Emacs 2 8 meg version that was dead, and
is it
Simon Alexander got it going for me. Yeah, 3.5 inch.
Okay, cool.
Floppies in there. Although, if you get one, you buy a GoTech simulator from Chris Poacher for about 60 or 70 quid, and you'll have everything all the sounds, everything that you could ever possibly want is on there, and much more reliable. But if anybody wants an Emacs 2, I might have one for sale. Ooh. Just the 1 meg version, but I might have it for sale.
Postage is a killer, mate, for me.
Yeah. I was looking at some of your stuff, and the postage put me right off.
Yeah. Oh, and that's without insurance. So that's literally not charging you anything for bubble wrap, which I do obviously include, and
you charge for bubble wrap.
Some people charge for bubble
charges
wrap.
for the air in the bubble wrap.
I know.
we talked about this a few years ago, where people put those what do you call it? Those big sort of air-filled plastic bubbles in packaging, and what did they call it, Brooksie? The Chinese fart pillows or something? I forget what it's called now.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
Dear. I found a DX7 Mark II genuine Yamaha case in Australia this morning for 125 quid. in the conversion, but they wanted 350 shipping to the UK.
My
DX7
DX7
II
hasn't been listed yet. It will be, but it does come with a flight case, and the flight case is a proper metal aluminium flight case with green. I don't know why they chose this, but green velour on the inside. It's interesting. It's not coloured velour. It really offsets against the grey of the DX7. But anyway, that thing would be heavier than I don't think any standard postage system would be able to post that. So it would be a custom jobby to post that overseas. Yeah. All right, let's get back to.
PPD.
Let's get back to
Ranzee,
here.
about the green velour. Perhaps they had an old pool table or something like that.
Yeah.
And needed to get rid of it.
Maybe. God hope we don't. There's nothing nasty on that pool table then.
So, hey.
Now, why is that gone to there?
A couple of balls, perhaps.
Maybe.
Oh.
All right, here we go. I just had to click refresh on this. Now this one falls into the scam territory, I believe, because I don't think an emulator AVI. I don't think there's anything holy grail about this at all. It's pretty sort of rare-ish, but it literally is just a voltage interface and a seat control voltage interface. I don't know.
Looks like the original emulator as well.
Robbie,
Emulator 1.
This is actually live. Now, I don't think these things would probably be worth more than a couple of £100, right? To be
take
fair.
a look at who's selling it.
Oh, yeah.
And then have a look at the rest of his listings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to do that because we don't want to.
Known.
We don't want to give this guy too much.
Oh, right, okay.
But let's have a little looky anyway. So if you do have an original emulator, that is, this thing may be of use for you. Nice toggle switches on it.
Fairlight in the background, Robbie.
There is.
See how much he's asking for it, and then come and sell it, and I'll sell you one for a quarter of the price.
Yeah. But literally, this thing is just a box with control voltage.
As well.
Yeah. So that's a bit rich, people. A little bit rich. £4,000, nearly £5,000 actually. What else have we got?
In the DX1 on this page, Jesus. Sorry, he really boils my piss. I'm sorry.
Calm down, Robbie. Calm down.
Now, this one has got my head scratching, right? This has got my head scratching because this is the same company, AW International in Japan, is selling this beautiful Roland SH101 with the pistol grip modulation, grip, and the bag. So it's pretty much, and the strap and everything. So this is pretty much as 80s as you're going to get. About £3,000.
And
right?
You have to remember, it's the model which took 4 years to complete, from 82 to 86.
The red one.
The special one.
But
they had so many problems, so it took them 4 years to release it.
Don't jump it, because the same people are selling a grey one for half the price. Literally. The only thing that's missing is the manuals, which you can download off the internet for free. I'm scratching my head. Who else is scratching their head? A bit of a head scratch happening here.
I'm not paying that much for an SH101. No
red?
chance.
No.
Twice the price is grey. There you have it, folks. That's why red is better for synths, because you can sell them second hand, used in the future for twice the price as a standard colour. It is a live auction
in the studio a little while back.
It is a live auction too.
Is the blue one slightly less rare than the red? I forgot.
No, the blue is about the same,
blue
isn't
is
it?
the rarest.
Yeah, about the same. I've got a Behringer version of this, and it's red. And mine has MS101, which they had to rename to MS1 later on. So
I have
got an MS101 here as well.
Nothing Behringer keeps its value, just if anyone wants to know. Oh, how did you do that to the bag?
Oh, that's a shame. It's not worth it then.
No,
I don't want it.
That's wear and tear.
That is shocking, people.
Yeah.
You can't have bags like that. Let's have a look at the grey one, because I've got it here. Might as well. And there. People like looking at synths. It's kind of it's what you do when you're bored. I might look at some second-hand synths. Fails to disappoint.
See, this synth holds a real special place in my heart because it was the one when I opened up the magazine and saw the advert in '82 with a young guy that looked just like me, but probably better looking, and he had an SH-101 slung over his shoulder, and I thought, that's it.
I know the ad.
That's the one.
I remember the ad.
I've got to have that.
I so regret mine.
Darren is like
Mine
at the
had the
moment.
grip.
He's looking at his corner in his room, and he's salivating right now because he has this exact synth. Maybe not quite as good, but he's thinking, "Wow, nearly 3,000 Aussie dollars. Some poor galah down in Australia might buy it off me. Here it comes." Hold it up a bit higher, mate. Bit higher. Come on.
You can have it. Look.
Don't drop it.
It is a.
Have you got the wiggy? You got the wiggy stick for it?
The wiggy stick.
The modular
No,
handle.
I haven't got the wiggy stick.
The wiggy
Oh, you don't have the grip?
Brooksy, stop playing with your wiggy stick.
Back on non-joystick, are we?
Mine did. Mine had it. Mine had it. Oh, mine had a wiggy stick on it, and I sold mine, and I deeply regret it. You know, but hey.
Darren's is a bit poorly though. Yours not quite working 100%, isn't it, mate?
No, it wasn't
Has
100%.
anybody
No, it
ever-
was squealing at me.
Yeah. No, that's
Has anybody
probably a
ever tried?
capacitor issue. That's what I reckon it is. I reckon it's got the.
Has
Well,
anybody
the
ever
thing is, when I
capacity
did sample
issue.
it, and I did put it on a track at one point, the squealing was a really cool noise.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever tried using the Behringer mod grip on an original?
Yes, apparently it works.
Wow, that's cool.
Has he got this?
Complete coincidence, I'm sure.
Um,
I've allowed that in.
connectivity wise,
So-
I'm not sure, but the actual like connectivity, as in like the plugging it into the actual socket thing, I'm not sure about that. But the actual mod grip itself, if
me
you
with
plug the
your
little
wiggy wig
two-prong
stick into
cable,
my big
it
knob.
works. I've got one more to show. Here we go. Let's get into scam territory again, people.
Nice box.
Oh,
OPZ.
It's all about the wood.
with a-
God.
a
Is that
lump
for the
of
piece of wood or the
Oh.
grey thing underneath?
Well, because it's got the lump of wood, they can charge 14,602 Australian dollars and 50 cents.
You can buy 8 of their tables for that.
£7,000. Yeah,
Oh, see, you beat me to it,
God,
Robbie.
mate.
It's a rare
am scratching
Swedish
my-
wood. Is that the?
I'm scratching my head at this. Apparently, this piece of wood is some sort of holder that this guy has manufactured. Obviously, he takes a lot of personal ego about the things that he manufactures out of wood because
It's got a deck
sometimes
saver
he
for it, but it
charges.
doesn't look that deck saved, really, does it?
That's it.
I
there,
remember
that's
they
a
were
bit of
selling
wood.
those. That was an accessory. Yeah.
What do they call
But
it?
they
It's
actually
called
included
a. It's called something.
there was a company that
Dig
included
Dug
the jacks and
DIY.
stuff on the side.
Dig Dug DIY, I think they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had one for the OP1 that
Going
was
on the
similar.
table, I
You-
bet that wood was a bit expensive.
Yeah. $14,000 for an OPZ. Andy, how you feeling about yours now? You could get a lump of wood, chuck it up on reverb. 7,000.
I like.
You're
I like mine too much.
undercutting
to
this
sell
bloke.
It, so
Yeah.
I love my OPC.
Jeez. Hey? What the hell? People are completely insane. How long has that listing been up there for? 4 months. Oh, I wonder why. Hello.
But there's the OP1 version that came out. There's a reason it was popular, because the jacks on the side of the OP1 were famous for dislodging if you're really rough on your gear.
Yeah.
So by putting it in a little case with basically a special board, you would damage that and not the original OP1 itself.
Yeah. But the price kind of is commensurate to the teenage engineering pricing structure system, and that is
Buy a table, shall
let's set the price as ludicrous as we can, and people will come and
And the
buy.
bag made out of a
Imagine
sou'wester.
having a table and then that sat on top of the table. That would be an
Do you
expensive.
think they've sold
setup,
any
wouldn't
yet?
Oh yes, I'm sure they
Sure
have.
they have.
Oh yeah, they will have done.
I wasn't going to show the new thing that they announced during the week, the
Oh no, oh
yellow
go
thing,
on.
the sou'wester,
I saw that.
the yellow thing,
Yeah,
the bag, isn't it? It's a bag, right?
yeah, it's a
They are
bag.
designers. So
Go on.
I've got to get the
It's not
website
that
up.
expensive actually for teenage engineering, is it?
What,
75
£3,500
quid, I
quid?
think it is.
Oh,
No, 75 quid.
There we go. you two can have a bag that makes you look like a fisherman from Antarctica.
I expect the little legs come out the bottom, like waders.
Does it come with wellies?
Aye.
Fisherman's dive.
And a sou'wester.
There you go.
Oh, so you laugh, but I've seen Italian designer bags that look just like that. They were like $2,000.
Guys, it's a duty overnight bag, so that means that it self-destructs in the morning. You buy it.
It's 100% recycled.
You have to buy another
It
one
looks
tomorrow.
Like it's actually come from one of those sou'wester mats.
It
Hilarious.
certainly needs the handles on either end, doesn't it?
Made from 100% recycled polyester ripstop with TPU coating, ensuring resistance to tearing and ripping. Sounds like we're reading
Lady
something else
Attitude
right
is writing, comes with fish sticks.
Durex. Sounds like a Durex commercial. Resistance
That's
to
the Gordon
tearing and
Fisherman,
ripping. Fabulous. Fabulous. The gift that
Ranzee,
just
real
keeps
quick,
giving.
There's you brought the red SH-101. There's a funny thing. When I tried to buy the boutique version at Guitar Center,
Yeah.
and I wanted the red one because I wanted something red. It didn't have a lot of red stuff.
Goes faster.
And I went through probably 4 different ones with returns because every time the sleeve said red, you pull it out, it was the gray one. You went back to the warehouse, pull it out, sleeve said red, open up, it's the gray one. I tried it like 4 times. I finally gave up. I said, give me the damn gray one. So Roland had a problem with their packaging. I bought a lot of boutiques, but the SH-101 boutique apparently was packed without QA because you could never find a red one.
Right. Or the guy was colorblind that was packing.
I don't know, but it says
And
red
when you
on
asked
the
for the
actual
grey
sticker,
one, did it come
right?
as a red one?
Could be. I just took it. I said, I'll take the one that says red, but it's gray, so
No.
whatever.
I bought a grey one and it came as a grey one. That's slightly disappointing now.
It's a bit like those. What are
missed
those
out.
chocolates called? Clinkers or something? You probably get. I don't know if you guys get them
Ranzee,
in
what are
your
you
country.
on?
No, there's a chocolate that you can buy, clinkers or something, and you bite. You bite it. They're all just chocolate on the outside, and you bite into them, and it's kind of like anyone's guess what colours in the middle, right?
All right, nuts and
They
bolts.
say, "Oh, I got a pink one. Oh, I got a green one." It's we can call Roland's SH-101 the clinker of synthesizers.
But the
Chris,
odds of
back me
random
up. You
ones
know
on
what
different
blinkers are, don't you?
warehouses,
No, I'm afraid I don't.
No one knows
Oh,
that.
yes.
You're on
You're,
food, we're on
nuts,
synths.
mate. I don't know what you're imagining stuff again.
No, I'm not. I'm going to prove you all wrong. It's by a company called Pascal. Pascal
If a
made.
company in
Ian
the
was
UK
cooking.
sold
No,
chocolate clinkers,
I do know them. I've just never eaten them.
flag
You're
nuts.
just, you're just taking the P1. Yeah, look, here's a great photo. A great photo. Open image in new tab. Where are we?
I'm fried the fish.
There. See, they're a bit of chalky on the outside, and when you bite into them, they're all those different colours. There you
No,
go.
we don't have them.
Pascal clinkers.
No, we haven't got
Anyone
that
wants some? I'll send you some. Beautiful. They're actually quite nice.
Is that because of the sound they make when they go into a glass jar?
They do, they are. They're hard. It's just like a hard sort of candy, sugary thing in the middle, and they're not too bad. Yeah. Kent. Right.
You'll get banned, Ken.
They don't beat them.
Filters. People, filters. This. Stop it, Darren.
Squash it.
This. Filters. Right. We're going to do that. Okay.
He's got some. I knew it. Oh, he's got
It's Christie's. I was going to buy some the other day. I saw them at the shop, and I thought, get some, and I forgot about it. What do I want to go to? I want to go to a different camera angle, people, and I can't find it. Here it is. This. So we're going to talk about filters, and I want to talk about it as a group chat, right? Chatties as well. You guys are also included in this, so it's not just the video people. But if you want to be on the video side of it, I think there's room in StreamYard for maybe 1 or 2 more. I'm not sure how it works. Anyway, I've got the Mini Moog. Okay, it's not a Mini Moog. It's a Behringer, but it's pretty good. It's a clone. All right, I've got this because it's the ostensible ladder filter that everyone knows about, and got a bit of an Auteca sort of
Yeah,
bass.
Auteca.
Yeah.
They should have called it Mini Behringer.
So, what is
Incunabula.
it about filters that we need to sort of know about? Like, because filters are subtractive, right? Because you're taking frequencies out of the sound. So if I was to open this filter up, that's what the oscillator sounds like unfiltered. And then I can now I've got resonance, which is called emphasis. Turn that off. So this is filters, right? And I mean, I don't know many people that don't like the sound of a mini Moog filter. It's definitely got a lovely sound to it. Why is that? Why does it have a lovely sound to it? Why is the mini Moog filter such a nice filter? Does anyone want to tackle that question?
Overdrive.
Yeah, technically.
Driven.
Analog.
Sounds good.
It's analog.
It's a
It's
ladder.
great until you lose the bass response with the resonance. Yeah,
You do. Same on the Pro One.
Yeah.
The quintessential fat sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what's important about filters is that one sound can sound different just by using a filter. So you could have a sample coming through a filter, and you can then shape that sample with the filter, and you can use envelopes as well to help that shape. But the filter is making the shape of the sound. So
I mean, I don't know what filters on the Korg 700, but it's not a ladder filter, I know that for sure. And it's called a Traveller. But I mean, I just always loved that. I mean, that's what the first thing that sold me on it.
are they 12 dB or 24 dB?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Someone can.
Fuzzy.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. I'm a fan of Korg's filters. See,
I know later on they did. I was looking at an article. They had what was it called? The 32, is it? The Korg 35 filter was later. That was in the MS-20. But obviously this is much earlier than that.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah, the
so
silent key filter is pretty special in the MS-20.
let's do something else with filters. Just to sort of get everyone's appetite tasty, I guess, or lack of tasty maybe. Let's do this. Now you can see my hand there. This is the System 500. So this is a Roland. What filter have I got in here? It's the 521. So this will be modelled after a System 700 or a System 100M. Yeah, I've got some delay on it. Kill me. What do we want to do?
Sounds like Through Metamorphic Rocks by Tangerine Dream.
It does.
Now that's going through a phaser as well, people. Now I've put that through a high pass now. That's pink noise too, so I can change it to white noise. There you go. Noise through a filter. Thousands of different sounds just using noise. Okay, so getting the chat getting the chat going. This is not going to be me demonstrating filters all night long. Brooksie, I know you had something to say about your Wasp filter. So do you want to start with that?
Well, I was going to say I don't have an awful lot of standalone filters. I've got the Roland, the Behringer System 100 filters, and they sound like Roland filters. They're really nice, clean, and in some way actually a bit characterless, if I'm honest. And I've got the Wasp filter in the rack here, and I just love that because that by contrast has bags of character. You're never quite sure what it's going to do, but it's great, really buzzy, all sorts. I've no idea if you can hear this. I won't be able to, but was that coming through?
It sure was.
Yeah.
That's just that's a sample on the bit box coming through the Wasp filter, and it's just really nice. It's just a great sound. So
yeah, I have a Wasp filter. I pan pit stuff for it.
It's nice. I know. I've seen it in Chris's as well. Chris has got one in his rack. I noticed. But I'm planning to get more because, as Ranzee said, you change the. Ooh. You change the filter, or was it? You change the filter type, and the character of the sound changes enormously. There are bag loads on that.
Chris Huggett designed the Wasp filter, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah. Are they 12 dB? I think they're 12 dB. So they're kind of quite resonant, aren't they?
12 dB filter.
Yeah.
It is. And one of the ones on my shopping list is the Derp for SEM filter, which again is another 12 dB filter, and it sounds very, very different. So just a different sort of character to put in the rack. And again, they're not actually that expensive in Eurorack terms. They're about 60 quid, so easy to get hold of. The problem is running out of sort of space in my main rack for things. Well, I've run out of space; it's full. So.
I don't know what.
You need a bigger case.
Is Kent responding to the Wasp
another
filter
case?
There? He's talking about the type of the type of chip that's in it. LM 13600.
LM transited array filter.
Maybe.
Right. Certainly sounds great. Whatever's going on behind the cover.
Yeah. Now another filter that I've got, but I haven't got it plugged into the System 100 is the SH5 filter, and it's just such a chaotic filter. So if you are into Eurorack, or if you have a Roland SH5, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just chaos. So it's really, really hard to tame it, and you don't want to tame it because it's a bit like herding cats. That's the cool thing about that filter. It's so crazy and almost, it's not unpredictable. I wouldn't say that, because you can definitely set it and you've got the sound that you want. But when you're playing with it, you're moving it around and modulating and stuff like that, it's very chaotic. So it's a cool filter. What else? Anyone else want to mention any of that? Someone said MS20 was their favorite filter. Who else would say MS20 is their favorite filter?
Not favorite, but really good.
Yeah?
It's really, yeah.
I like the Dreadbox filter. Especially in Erebus.
What is it, Darren? What type of filter is it?
I think I'm not actually sure. I just love it. Is it 24? Is it 12?
I'll find out for you.
I think it's
24. 12 dB. Or is it?
It's 12. It's 2 pole.
Oh, is it only 12?
Yeah, 2 pole.
I don't
12.
limit myself at one filter.
Well, that's true.
Both like the SEM filter and the Extreme filter from Dupfer, and I also like the filter from the 2500, the Behringer filters.
Yeah,
they are very soft and moog-like. Moog-like means like in Danish.
Yeah, they're a ladder filter. Yep.
Yeah. So I wouldn't limit myself to only like one filter.
Yeah, of
I
course.
like a lot of different filters.
Yeah, good point. Definitely good point. I'm with you with the 2500. I was about to say, after Darren finished talking about the Erebus, that I like the ARP 2600 and 2500 filters, both separately for different reasons. So the 2600 had, depending on which version you got, it did have a modular filter in one of the versions, and obviously that sounds pretty cool. But it had their own filters in it too, which were kind of interesting. And in some cases, you can get with different settings of the 2600, like using the ring mod and the crunchiness of the oscillators, you can get quite a metallic sound going through that filter. It's quite cool. So there's some really nice timbres that you can generate through a 2600 just by playing around with the different filter options on it. So that's a good one.
I'm a big fan of the EMS Putney filter, which is the diode ladder. It's a modification of Moog's filter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a real resonant filter.
Yeah, but I have had the pleasure of playing on an EMS3, a VCS3, a couple of times, and I was completely blown away with it. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
and I've got the iPad version, which is obviously not. It's not the same, but
nothing like
but to actually play the real thing was just great fun, and the filter was amazing.
It really whistles, doesn't it? That filter. It just it's nice. Kent's mentioned the CS80 filter, which is also a good contender. The CS80 from Yamaha. In a sense, I wonder if we like filters because of the synth that's going through it. Do you know what I mean? Like, what was I going to talk about? So it's not filter related, but if I got off my butt and bought some more of the Black Corporation CS80 modules for Eurorack, like the Descartes voice, for example, I could use the CS80 filter purely just as a filter without having to put the CS80's, oscillators through it. I could put some other oscillator through it, like a Roland oscillator or a, digital oscillator, anything. And so it'll sound different. You'll get a different sort of appreciation to it.
That's why the Arturia Origin was cool, because you had a CS80 series of soft modules in it, including the filter.
Yeah.
You could route different things whenever you wanted to. So
Steiner Parker's getting a mention in chat as being pretty sweet. I agree.
Yeah, the Arturia, the microbrute, mini brute.
Yep, beautiful. That can sound a bit metallic as well. That filter, as well. Nice. Yeah. What else have we got in chat? DX7s don't need filters. Oh, here we come. Here's all the FM people. Come on, come on in.
And awesome, we also need to mention what was in the news: the Klavis granity filter.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited to see what it can do when I get it.
Well, more information, please.
We talked about it in the news.
Yeah.
The Klavis granity filter.
Yeah. Multi-mode filters. What are they? Okay, so for those that don't know what multi-mode filters are, they're obviously a filter that has access to different types of filters in it. So you've got low pass, high pass, band pass, notch. You've got all that
like the
sort
Steiner
of stuff.
Parker.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to have that flexibility, because you may not just want to have a low pass filter. You may, like I showed before with the noise, I was showing it through a low pass, and then I added a high pass to it, and it took a bit of the high end out or in, depending on how I played with the frequency control. So that's good.
When you're talking multimode, what do you prefer, that the inputs have the different modes or the outputs, because they are in different versions?
I like it when there's both the option, so you can have it with both, and that way you can actually set. I don't know how many. I forget which one that I saw recently that gave you the option. I think it might have been the was it the Matrix Brute that gave you that option with both in, for, and out? I think it's the Matrix, but someone will correct me if I'm wrong. That gives you the flexibility, right?
I actually have a module that will do that. In fact, I have a quick show and tell if you want to see a couple weird filters.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll have to go boombox again. So, there's a Steiner Parker filter. This was made probably before the Brutes got out. It's kind of funky looking, but it has the multi-mode with the different outputs and the mix. This is the white line filter, commonly used in the Erebus and some of the Dreadbox stuff. This is a fixed filter bank replica from a Buchla, the 295. This is really cool. This is somebody came out with a replica of the Synton Syrinx filter called the Gyrinx. So you can do like vocal characteristics as well as other filtery stuff. This has a little button here where you can switch between routing the filter internally different ways. So the little filter blocks get moved around, as well as having lots of control of the input output and just tons of physical controls. It's a crazy filter. This Depfer one multi-filter, I think it has like 30 different filters in it. You just dial in.
That's a cool one.
Which model you want. Yeah, it's really cool. If you want a lot of filters in one little box, this guy is really nice. And then the Grendel vocal formant filter is quite nice for doing formanty stuff and all that. So I have some other ones, but those are some of the odd ones you probably don't see very often.
Yeah, that's the first mention of formant, so I knew it would come up eventually.
Yeah.
So just while you're on the screen there, Andy, just tell people what formant filters are and why they're different to like a low pass filter, for example.
It replicates aspects of the human voice box. So if you use any of those cool like Boss or Roland vocal pitch boxes for tweaking your voice, there's usually two sliders or two knobs or whatever, pitch and formant. So if you just do pitch, you get the little munchkin voice or the giant. So, but if you play with the formant, you can get the vocal box to shrink appropriately with the pitch or grow with the pitch.
Because each of the formant filters are a different frequency range, right? So they're like lots of little bandpass filters, aren't they? And
exactly,
yeah. And that's how you get the formant.
You can fake it with bandpass filters too. Yeah, there are other synths that do it just with series bandpass filters.
I don't know if you can define the panharmonium as a filter.
Oh, I love that thing.
Yeah. But it is probably more a synthesizer than a filter.
It is pretty cool, though. Just saying.
Yeah.
Let's bring it up for those who don't know.
It's a secret weapon. It's very nice.
Yeah. It's on my wish list, too.
Panharmonium by Rossum Electro.
Yeah, Rossum Electro Music.
It's a good size, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I've looked at this thing 1,000 times and wanting to buy it, but it's just so expensive for me over here with all the exchange rate and everything. Chris will probably know my pain as well. Everything works out to be close to $1,000 Australian by the time you get this thing in here.
Yeah,
and it's in stereo. That's rare.
Stereo filters. I'm glad you brought that up, Henrik, because stereo filters are now becoming a bit of a thing. Like you saw that Moog synth that came out a few years back with the stereo filter in it, and it's a thing. So what's a stereo filter compared to a normal filter, and that is that it gives you the option to to route the sounds out of left or right channels, different filter effects for the left and right channel. So Chris, I know you were trying to show something before. Did you want to show it now, or have you paused? You're a bit jerky. Yeah,
It's all right.
That's all right. It's jerky. It might be my end. I don't know.
While we're talking... No. It was me trying to do A camera, B camera thing. We should talk a bit about this as well. This is a multi-band formant filter. It's a kit that I made a couple of years ago. Sorry, I built it. I didn't make it.
So who was it? Lime Flow?
Lima Flow, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Kickstarter campaign originally, but you've got your vowels sounds on a continuous pot, which is also CV. So got to do things backward. So you can actually kind of sequence sort of pseudo speech or speaking anyway. It's a lot of fun to play with. A hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah. Why do you like that? Just because it's fun, or has it got?
Well, I'll just focus myself. I like it because it just puts you in a different territory sonically. Makes you write sort of slightly different music. It's kind of more. I find it better for sort of rhythmical sort of vocal stuff rather than like long notes of singing and stuff. It's not really quite interesting enough. When you're doing it really fast sort of changes in vowels, it kind of creates kind of almost a glitchy kind of sound.
Yeah,
that's quite a good sound actually. Yeah, so it's sort of more
like
of from the rhythmic side.
Yeah,
a bit more percussive, but it's pretty odd sounding. But you can't use it in every song because it kind of sounds the same as the previous song,
right?
Because you kind of reach for the same kind of the same kind of oscillators that go into it that sort of catch it. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to use it in moderation. So
Brilliant.
Look for the right track and
brilliant,
that kind of thing.
Awesome.
But it's good fun, heaps of fun.
Just quickly keeping abreast of everything. Chatties are talking about a whole bunch of stuff. There was a mention of something before, and I've just forgotten to.
Stereo.
Oh, that's right, stereo filters. Yeah. So, what was that Moog synth? It was was it the matriarch or was it the grandmother that had the stereo filter in it? Oh, I forget now. Someone will correct me. Anyway, stereo filters. Henry, what were you going to say about it?
Yeah. I have no stereo filters, but I have many filters. So I love to have a different filter on left and a different on the right, and make them play against each other. It creates a nice effect inside your head. You get dizzy, and that's what we sometimes want to obtain. So
yep. Now,
is that the right word?
Who would agree or disagree that a filter is very much lost without one of these little babies next to it?
Yes.
You do need something to contour your filter with. It doesn't have to be an envelope. It could be a gate, or it could be like a Vactrol low pass. I don't know, something. But some sort of way to shape the gate of that filter going through the sound, like opening and closing of the filter. Personally, I like envelopes. There's way too much discussion to have for us to go into envelopes, or envelopes if you want to say it that way, right now, because it's not about that. But does anyone want to sort of just quickly mention what's their favourite type of envelope setting that they like to do with a filter? What's their go-to? Is it just sustain all the way up and everything all the way down? What is it?
No, quite the opposite.
Yeah,
sustain all the way down. Short decay, bit of release, boing. To be honest, that's a low pass gate, isn't it?
It sure
in
is.
Many ways.
Yeah.
That just because you can have lots of slow evolving things, but here I'm within this. It's often very short, sort of blippy, plucky sort of sequenced sounds, and it needs that. Just that little movement. I mean, you can have the long, Wagyu is going.
But it also makes me think about what I talked about earlier, the multimode filters. If Ranzee preferred them to be multi on the inputs or outputs. If it's on the outputs, then you can have different envelopes on. No. You can you can make more filtering after the filter. Make more effects, different effects.
Yeah.
On different frequencies if it's on the outputs.
Yeah.
That's what.
So you can filter the filtered. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Filtering the filtered.
Just as an aside, it's 2 years since we did the February filter sweep, and nobody's mentioned it at all. Yeah,
know,
just been.
waiting. I was about to.
Yeah,
I think I did one
Who
last
mention
year.
it? Who wants to mention it?
Yeah, there was some last year.
Who wants to get a copyright strike?
Brooksy, you can mention it. I mean, it was really
Well, we did it
your
2
baby,
years
wasn't
ago,
it?
wasn't it?
It was your baby.
Well, Starsky Car, was it Starsky Car who got a copyright strike
there was-
for it, and then you'd got one?
There was
for
about
it, and
3
it
of
was
us at the same time. There was
Chemical-
me, there was Starsky Car, and there was
Chemical
also
Brothers and some other bands.
Yeah,
Not strikes,
Chemical
but claims.
Yeah.
And Starsky
Yeah,
found
yeah,
out that
well,
if you do
yeah,
it below
claim,
10 seconds, you won't get the claim.
Well, whatever. So we said, well, we're all a bit irritated by this because obviously it's a sound that occurs everywhere. So we just did the February filter sweep. It was a really good response. The first two the response was amazing. You know, over 100 plus videos were uploaded of people just doing different filter sweeps. Yeah. I think it's had its day. We did that. It worked.
Yeah.
I don't see any
it's
reason
seen
to
its-
resurrect it.
That's where I got my Kid Rock claim.
That was right. Kid Rock was the other one. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that was me mucking around in the background with low pass gating noise.
So Ranzee, yeah, you brought up low pass gate. I mean, that's the Buchla filter, basically, right? That's their
Pretty
version
much.
of a filter.
Yeah, an LPG.
With
Yeah.
the Vactrals, and the Vactrals are
Vactrals.
great because they have a smooth response.
Vactrals are good. Yeah. So low pass gating. Okay, so let's explain that because I reckon people hear it and they don't understand. They just hear it and accept it. It's just terminology. And in synth world, sometimes you shouldn't just accept terminology because you need to probably understand what it is that we're talking about. So, Andy, what's a Vactral first? Explain a Vactral.
Vactral is an optically controlled device, so it has a profile of an LED essentially going on and off, and so it has a they're not as snappy as some things are because you got this kind of the curve is smooth.
Yeah.
But you get this really amazing response, and what's great is some things that use Vactrals are also used to taper, so you don't get a harsh cutoff when you switch between things. So I forgot what it was I bought recently. It was I was playing some Vactrals last night in some dumb generative thing I was doing on YouTube, but the something I recently bought has Vactrals in it that's not aimed at being filtery, but it's so damn smooth when you switch between them.
Yeah.
Because of that gradual profile of the LED fading in and out.
Yeah. So some mixers and mute switches and things like that can have Vactrals in them.
But it still doesn't explain what it does. It explains what it is, but what does it do? What is a low pass gate?
Oh, low pass gate's the second part. So the Vactral was the first part to understand, right? So now you know that the Vactral was kind of just cleaning up the response curve. Okay, so it's making a smooth response. So when you're looking at an event that happens over time, if that is like a very sharp square or a triangle with a peak or a sawtooth or something like that, that's going to create a very, very harsh response. Whereas a Vactral is probably more bell-like in its response, right? Then you add that to a low pass gate.
But why call it a gate when it's an envelope?
It's because yeah, this is where synth terminology gets a bit cloudy, right? Because you could call it a gate, a low pass gate is also a type of gate, and you could also call it a trigger as well because you can use it as a trigger because it's quick enough to be a trigger. So and all of those three things can be the same thing, and also they can be different depending on how you use them. That's the great thing about synthesizers.
But I still don't understand why they are important.
Yeah.
Why
Chris
don't
will
you
explain.
just do it with an envelope and a filter?
Chris is going to explain for you.
I can tell you what I know about low pass gates. I just using this one as an example. This is one I have here. They're the Vactrals. This is a dual low pass gate. So it's got two Vactrals for each side. Basically, the the way the diode and the light dependent resistor react to each other isn't very adjustable. I mean, you can adjust the sensitivity of it, but there's no real absolute control over an envelope. So that's why they call them gates rather than envelopes, because envelope tends to imply a bit of control. Whereas the Vactral's Vactral's a little bit more on-y, offy, but they're very particular on and a very particular off, and then that slightly changes a bit depending on how hard you drive them. So it's such a sort of old sort of analog technology. It's kind of it's real scientific experiment type stuff. And it's one of those things where it's just remained in that sort of place. Like there are very few things that we have in electronics that hasn't evolved and become more sort of controllable. Vactrals is just so super old technology. That's their charm, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I was going to say, to answer Hendrik's question about what's the sort of point, or what was your question? I forgot what your question was.
Yeah, what's the point? You can do it with a filter and an envelope generator.
It's two reasons, really. The fact that it's in one device that does it.
Yeah, but you can't change things on that device.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not one of those things where if you want control, it's not really for you. It's for people who just want to sort of experiment with something, or they just kind of get an affinity for it. They sort of... It's like anything. You own anything, and you kind of get the feel. You get sort of I know it's a bit of a relationship type thing. You know, you kind of get a sort of a connection with how that device responds when you give it certain things. And when you want to do something a little bit random or a little bit, sometimes you really want to do something really simple, and you don't want to fuss about with lots of patching. You chuck it into low pass gate because you know exactly what you're going to get. But if you want control, low pass gates aren't really a thing. And if you notice, there haven't been a lot of modules that have come out with low pass gate technology in them that have done anything particularly new or modern. I don't think anyone's quite worked out how to sort of get more out of them.
I don't know if they need to, because it's a bit like saying, well,
that's the thing. Yeah.
Someone hasn't brought out a mini mode filter module and done anything modern with it. Well, I mean, it's probably not.
But I still don't understand why you need it.
Okay, so I'm going to answer it in a different way, because Chris's answer was brilliant. My answer will be more about what is the need of the synth community, and why are these things flying off the shelf? And the reason for it is because there's certain type of sounds that go through these Vactral low pass gates that have a distinctive timbre to the way they sound, and you may not be able to emulate that with an envelope, because your envelope may not have the Vactral type of curve that it can create. So for example, even with exponential and linear type curves with your potentiometers on your envelope generator, they may not be precise enough to create that Vactral type response. And so what happens is you're getting a specific type of percussive sound, or the plucky sequence type sounds that are very, very quick gate sounds. And that really is something that, like, lots of people like ramming thousands of tiny little sample sounds through at a very high sequence rate, 1/64th or something like that. The Vactral low pass gates are really good for sort of giving that sort of lumpy, sort of real percussive sound to it. It's got a very distinct sound. It's a bit like saying, we were talking about those mixers before, like with the different types of flavors of preamps. They all sounded a little bit different. And I can tell you that for a fact, because I've been playing with them here. Like, you've got the CX and the BX and all, CR and all. They're all different sounds, and people I want to go to that mixer because I like that sound. Well, there's reasons, electronic reasons for it. Hopefully that answers it. With Chris's answer and my answer together, hopefully
the bottom line is, if you want a Buchla sound, you need low pass gates. That's it.
Yeah. Go listen to some of
I know
Ben DivKid's videos, and you'll see what I mean about those, the Vactral demos that he's done with some of the Vactral modules. You'll see what I mean.
Yeah. But I already think I knew before what it was, but I still didn't see the point. I see it now, or see it a little bit, because I still can't see what I should use it for.
Well, put it this way. So, one of the things that I'm looking at doing, and I don't know if anyone's actually done it yet. We talked about the 185 sequencer recently, right, on the show, and Chris is doing his little 183 module, right?
GP82.
Yeah. So the old-fashioned sort of techno music from the 90s, they had that real sort of trance gate sound. Do you remember? Like, we all probably went to the clubs and banged our heads against it. Vactrals are perfect for that. Doing those sort of real fast, repetitive type rhythms, whether it's a 4 pattern or a 3 pattern over 4. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the sort of stuff that you can pump through a VCA with Vactral low pass gates. It sounds amazing. So it's kind of like a mixture of sequence and a mixture of gate and a mixture of filter and envelope all in one to sort of achieve a certain sort of sound. Like I said, it's more percussive, more sequency than anything. You like the pluck sound. So when you have a nice plucky sort of sounding synth sound, it sounds beautiful for through a Vactral LPG. Yeah.
Also, apparently, Vactral was a trade name that just got adopted as a common name. So.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, because of the diode or whatever it was that they used, wasn't it? It was something to do with the.
It's like Kleenex in the U.S. We call everything Kleenex when it's just tissue, right?
Yeah, or
Xerox.
Xerox or Whiteout or
Hoover.
Yeah.
Hoover, yeah, it's a good one.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Teenage engineering. Sorry, I'm being silly.
It's not going to happen, Andy.
I swear.
Brooksy, it's not going to happen.
I'm just going to put this down on the teenage engineering.
It seems like we have filtered. It seems like we've filtered out Rob. He's very quiet.
Oh, he's just he's basically just
It's
thinking.
modular, he doesn't
I
understand.
can't really do a filter on an FM synth. He's feeling left out.
I just
what?
have one question. I just have one question.
Only one.
What's a filter?
Hey, Robbie, you get a DX200.
Mate,
has a nice filter on it.
You've got a beautiful filter on that polybrood of yours. You should use it.
Indeed.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Different filters on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what I got you
Mini
there, Robbie?
Freak
How did you
and
feel
the
about the
Prophecy.
Noir edition?
They've all got filters in them. They've all got filters. All got filters. Prophecy, Mini Freak. They've all got filters, Robbie. Just grab the knob and tweak it.
He knows. He's just taken
He
the
knows.
P155 out of us. Robbie, what did you think of the Noir edition of the Polybrute?
It's very black. Look, at the end of the day, it's a colour change. I think they missed the trick though in not doing the entire keyboard as black.
Yes, that's what everyone said.
And
yeah,
that would have been nice. But
the Korg
thing
thing.
that it's if it encourages more people to experience the wonder that is the Polybrute, then it's all good by me.
Yeah, I'm getting close, mate. I'm getting close. Just
Do
need
it.
to sell a bit more gear, and then there'll hopefully be a Polybrute here.
Getting closer.
I can feel it.
Wonder
I
if
can feel it.
like Getting closer.
Definitely.
Could write a song about that.
Anything else about filters do we want to cover? We probably haven't covered a million different things, right? Someone's going to write in the comments, "Oh, you guys are just old men talking about crap."
German filter man.
We
Yeah,
haven't
filter
talked
banks.
about we haven't talked about rear filters.
Rear.
Remember those? Yeah. Phone.
Chris Rea.
No, rear. They are used
Volkers?
before you input the signal from what do you call it? A record player.
Oh,
Then you need a rear
RIAA.
filter. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, whatever it is, the recording recording
Yeah,
industry
RIAA
association in
filter.
America.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a bit like a copyright strike? Is that the same thing?
That was a
Nah.
nerdy.
Yeah.
I think it's a disease you can get. Oh, I got the RI please. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're all filtered out. We're all filtered out. I had a question about digital
There's no
filters. But I
filter
don't,
on this program.
I don't know if we even want to bother with digital filters. And then you can quickly talk
The
about that.
MX2 has nice digital filters, so they can be good. So.
Well, I thought the K2500 from Kurzweil was a good digital filter.
Yeah.
Just in my opinion. It was a bit steppy and everything, just like you expect, but I thought it was a good one. Anyone else have a favourite? What about, Darren, the AN1X has a pretty decent digital filter in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've not used it for a while, but yeah, on that track, it's a nice filter. Yeah, well, you've got have you now? You might have got rid of it.
AN200, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm getting an AN1X soon.
That's a good.
Supernova's got a whole batch of all sorts of different filters in it. I used to quite like the some of the non-usual ones. You got obviously low pass, band pass, high pass, but there's all sorts of combs and band restricted and band reject and all sorts. They're quite fun, and that's because they're all digital.
Hydrosynth has like 25 filters.
You've got your door emulated filters.
Someone mentioned Gaia filter in the chat. I think it was it Cresshead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
You can buy my, if you want to buy my, there it is there. You can buy my Roland Gaia. It's for sale.
Doesn't suck, it's lovely. Ranzee's selling it.
It's a good training synth. So
there you go.
I have an old
Got a DB,
Roland
what more can you
MKS. I have an old Roland MKS 7. In around 1990, I made an input to the filter in it, so I could filter external signals.
MKS7, remind me, is that the Juno Alpha? That's the Juno Alpha rack mount, right? The MKS7?
it's MKS 50.
Yeah.
It's the quartet, isn't it? They've got like 707
Super
drums.
quartet. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Super
Okay.
quartet.
Gotcha.
So drums and three Juno type synths.
Nice.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Two voice, 4 voice, and or is it 3? I think it's 4, and a monophonic bass line and a drum machine. And is it a TR-505 or nearly a TR-505?
Yeah.
Similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
We
we'll
haven't
wrap it up.
mentioned, of course. Oh, sorry.
No, you can go.
I was
I am
going to
gonna
say
wrap
last
up
thing.
after this.
Yep. We should also mention the SEM 320, as someone's mentioned in the chat. The SEM filters, which were in a lot of the 106 and a lot of the Roland synths, SEM filters. Yeah, and
Oberheims as well.
Oberheims, yeah. There's quite a few different. My mind's gone blank. I'll let back to you, Rant.
Curtis is another filter.
Curtis filters, yes.
I mean, I think Brooksie mentioned the Pro 1, so technically,
I have a Polyvox filter module. That thing's amazing.
Here we go. Lots of filter candy. Filter candy. Yeah. I think with all that choice of filters, I think we should be able to come up with a fairly decent timbre for our music. Go play with your filters, people. Fly away and play with your filters out there in the ether during the week. See what you can come up with. I just did a couple.
And the
of
filters in your door,
here.
like I say, sometimes just the Ableton clean filter in the door.
Yeah, digital filters. Just playing around with it, just mucking around. Beautiful. Add some effects on the end, of course. You've got to.
Even stuff like the S2400 has different filters. There's the character filters, and there's the general kind of tone shaping filters, the fixed filters.
So yes, I was going to say, on that huge disappointment of discussing filters, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Maybe not. This is what we like to do here. We like to push the gambit of geekiness. Many thank yous to, starting with the StreamYard people, because I know how difficult it is to sort of be hidden in that corner. Sorry, Robbie. We do love you a lot, mate, so don't worry about that. A big thank you to everyone who joined us on StreamYard. Chris, Robbie, and Henrik. Thanks, Henrik, for sharing your mate's sound design stuff. That was interesting. Beautiful. Awesome. Also, a big thank you to Darren, Andy, Ian, and Brooksie for being awesome.
Go and listen to the
as
track
usually are.
Sonar. It's out now. It's only 5 days old.
Yeah. Yep. Go
It's
to
lovely. It's great.
There's a link in the
I did
in the
earlier.
description now of the video that you're watching to Darren's channel. Go down, click on it. So big thank you to the chatties.
Oh, I almost forgot. Don't forget the 303 filter. Everyone uses that all the damn time.
Yeah.
We did forget that, didn't we?
Yeah.
It does.
18
Very
It does need.
VCS3. isn't it?
It definitely
well
needs a
does
drive, though,
need
doesn't it? That 303 filter.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound much without the drive. But anyway, beautiful.
Rant is.
So if you want to listen
is
to one of the
Hillary-
filters, yeah, it's on my track because that's a 303. Well, it's not a 303 really. It's a
TD3 is it?
It's
Ranzee?
is it a Behringer?
Close enough. Yeah.
Henry, what's up?
Yeah, there's a Hillary Adamson in the chat. Is that somebody?
Oh,
you
that's
know?
wifey.
Ah, okay.
Wifey's in the
Just
chat,
wanted to know.
everyone.
she's
Be
been
nice to wifey.
Hi, Hillary.
Beautiful.
Hi, Hillary.
Behaviour, everyone.
Hello.
She's probably just keeping an eye on me. Probably telling me to get off.
She wants you to sell more stuff. That's why. She's sell more gear.
Yeah. She's not the one. I'm doing the.
You
She
told me
knows.
you told that.
All right, guys. Wishing you all the best for,
Yeah.
for the week. Make sure you play with your filters and say goodbye. Bye, everyone.
See you all next Saturday.
Bye, everybody.
everyone.
Yeah.
See y'all.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a great week.